please subscribe my channel. My wife's message arrived late at night, short and sure of itself. I want an open marriage. I'm seeing my ex again. This isn't open for discussion. I read it twice, then a third time, and felt something surprising grow in my chest. It wasn't anger or surprise. It was clear thinking. Her words left no questions and no space to talk. They were just a statement dressed up as bravery. I looked at the screen for a long time, remembering the years we had spent creating a life together, the sacrifices I had made, and the red flags I had chosen to overlook. Then I typed one simple word, understood. No smiley faces, no fights, no explanations. I set the phone down and sat in the quiet house. That one word wasn't giving up. It was facing the truth. When someone tells you who they are and what they truly want, trusting them is the first move toward taking back your own strength. After I sent the message, I didn't walk around the room or go over old talks in my mind. I didn't feel the need to defend myself or ask why. For the first time in months, my thoughts felt peaceful. She was so sure of herself because she thought I would fight, plead, or try to bargain. My quiet reply took that away from her. I got up, went to the window, and looked out at the calm neighborhood. This wasn't a battle I had to win. It was a situation I needed to leave in my own way. I picked up my phone again, not to message her, but to make one important call. A planned call that I had hoped I would never have to make. This wasn't about getting even or trying to control her. It was about getting ready. When respect is gone from a marriage, acting like everything is okay only puts off what has to happen. I wasn't acting out of strong feelings. I was planning carefully, and that difference would change it all. The call took less than 10 minutes. It was calm, straightforward, and quick. I described what was happening without getting upset, and I explained what I needed to have done right away. When I hung up, I felt an odd wave of relief. The worry that had been with me for months disappeared. I wasn't waiting around anymore. While she thought she had just changed the rules of our marriage, I was quietly realizing that the whole relationship was finished. I made some coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and let the quiet fill the room. This quiet felt different from the ones we had shared before. It wasn't hiding from problems, it was deciding to move on. People often think staying calm means being weak, but they don't see that it's what happens when someone finally stops wishing the other person would change. I didn't know how she would respond next, but I knew something big had changed. And once things start moving in a new direction, it's hard to turn them back. A few minutes later, my phone started buzzing. Once, twice, then over and over. I didn't pick up. Text came next. Her words now sounded unsure. She asked what I meant by understood. That question almost made me smile. She hadn't expected me to agree. She had counted on me pushing back. As the calls kept coming, I pictured her sureness fading and confusion taking its place. She was used to deciding how things went and testing limits without any real cost. My silence was something she couldn't handle. Finally, I heard keys in the door. She hurried inside, out of breath with wide eyes. The bold attitude from her text was completely gone. "What's happening?" she asked, her voice unsteady. I looked at her peacefully and said nothing. That quiet scared her more than any shouting match ever could. She began speaking fast, taking back her words, giving reasons, and suddenly calling the message a mistake, a test, something she didn't truly mean. I listened without cutting in, noticing how her words now came from fear. Fear of losing me. Fear of what might happen next. Not real sorrow, just fear. I told her softly that I had taken her message seriously. That when someone says something isn't open for discussion, the only fair reply is to accept it. That's when she fell apart. She pleaded with me to stop whatever I had started, swearing she would end things with her ex, go to counseling, and make changes. Promises made in panic sound very different from ones made willingly. I wasn't mean. I wasn't loud. I was truthful. I explained that my phone call hadn't come from anger. It came from clear thinking. And clear thinking doesn't go away just because someone gets afraid. She asked who I had called, her voice shaking. I didn't share details. I didn't have to. What counted wasn't the call itself. It was the change it brought. For the first time, she saw that her decisions came with results she couldn't manage. The control she thought she had disappeared the moment I stopped bargaining for my value. She sat down, put her head in her hands, and whispered sorry over and over, asking how everything had gone so wrong. I told her the honest truth. Things don't break all at once. They come undone little by little when one person thinks the other will always stay, no matter what. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was looking out for myself. That difference was important, and it was something she had never thought about before. The rest of the night went by quietly. She didn't go out again. She hardly said a word. The house felt changed, like it had finally stopped pretending. In the days after, the way she acted was totally different. She tried hard to be caring and worked desperately to fix what she had so easily put at risk. But deep inside me, something basic had changed. I saw how strong it can be when you stop fighting with someone who doesn't respect you and start trusting what they say instead. The call I made didn't end our marriage. Her message had already done that. The call just faced the truth. Whether we stayed together or not would now come down to real actions, not demands. And for the first time, I wasn't scared of either choice. Looking back, that one message was the big turning point. "This isn't open for discussion," she wrote, thinking she had all the control. I answered with one word and flipped the whole situation. She came home pleading, not because I shouted or made threats, but because I agreed with her words and started moving forward without fear. Sometimes the most powerful reply isn't fighting back. It's agreeing and then taking steps on your own. I didn't beg to keep my spot in her life. I showed her what life without me would really be like. And that truth scared her more than any argument ever could. Whether our marriage lasted or not, one thing was clear. I would never again trade away my self-respect. And that choice meant more than any sorry she could say.